All right, welcome back to Forgotten Legends of Sound.
Yeah, you know that.
Today, Ian went on like a big. We've never neither one of us have really been huge into black metal, any of us really.
Yeah.
And Ian was like, we'd make fun of it all the freaking time, which you still can because dude, it's fudging black metal, yeah. But anyways, he was checking out some black metal bands, and I remember him showing me this. And today we are doing Anaal Nathrakh and Endarkenment, which I always want to say Endarkenment, but that's not it. And dude, I've probably listened to this at least 15 times. I haven't gone through lyrics yet, so that will be interesting. And there also are some notes inside, so we're gonna read those before the songs. I'm guessing it's probably gonna bring up some discussion, so that'll be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And just some blackened death.
Grind
combination, yeah. So
that's one thing is especially Ian and I, we're not biggest traditionalists for genres, but man, when genres do 3 or 4
hybrid bands,
we
you guys
hybrid bands
you guys come up with some really good hybrid bands, for sure. Yeah.
I just don't know why hybrid bands really appeal to us or something, and so
just more exciting, more to get into,
more changing, and
more
change ups,
Man, I feel like you guys still like straightforward stuff. It just seems like you guys get a little more bored with it. You have your bands that are all about that, and you're kind of I'm good with that.
Right.
At least that's kind of what I think. Is that how you guys would say, or?
Yeah, sometimes I'm kind of in the mood for boring music, I guess. Sometimes older music in general, you almost have to think of it in a different way because it's they're doing the simple drum beat, or they're doing this easy simple blues guitar lick. But sometimes it's kind of nice to listen to that stuff. I don't know. It depends on what I'm feeling at the time, you know.
Yeah. But are we just gonna jump into this, or?
Well, I guess we could start.
Let's have us share our thoughts on the band and stuff, you know. But did you want to add anything else to your thoughts generally on the band, or why did you want to pick this album?
I guess I wanted to pick this just because I've been really enjoying it, and it's been a while since I've heard a new band, and I've just been oh, dude, this is sick. And these guys have done it for me, so
15 is a lot, you know.
Yeah, I've gone through a lot, and some of it's been at work, so I haven't really been able to digest it, but enough, dude. 15 freaking times. I've listened to this a lot. I've really been digging it, so I thought, let's put it up there.
Yeah. I only started getting into black metal the last couple of years, you know. Like Chad already mentioned, it just wasn't a genre that really appealed, and then something clicked. All of a sudden, it's the same time that bands like Slayer and Sepultura started clicking.
I was so excited when you were dude, listen to this.
I was hey man, I'm gonna listen, and you're because growing up, Chad listened to Slayer and Sepultura and stuff. He also listened to Megadeth and Metallica and stuff. But me and Kevin weren't as into Slayer, and we're just it's kind of boring and whatnot. And I don't know, there's something about in the last couple of years that some of that stuff just started sounding good all of a sudden for me. And maybe I just needed time, maybe that's just what I needed.
Any day now you'll be in the grindcore.
Yeah.
Dude, Napalm Death, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, but I like this album. I had listened to a couple of their other albums first, whatever, and I was I like some songs, but as a whole, I remember going through some of their albums and just kind of cherry picking stuff that I liked. And then when I heard this album, I was kind of man, this whole thing is freaking good. Yeah. So I was just I don't know. I'm glad you're picking this album because I haven't listened to all of their albums, so I don't know how I'd compare it. But right now, it's probably my favorite.
Yeah, disclaimer: I'm definitely not a super fan.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
I'm really digging this album, so I just thought I wanted to put it out there.
Yeah, true. So this is Anaal Nathrakh. Anything you want to say, Kevin, or should I read the little statement?
Yeah, honestly, so I'm not super familiar with these guys. I'm probably the least familiar between you two, I've probably heard this album maybe twice just from you. Just kind of playing it generally, just kind of you playing it around me and stuff. But I'm, it definitely has those Devin Townsend-y moments in the album and stuff, But just from what I've heard, it sounds pretty good, I kind of know what I'm getting into, already. I don't think I'll love it as much as you guys, but it'll still be enjoyable. So
So as we're going, we're gonna read the lyrics. Not all the lyrics were online, so we're sorry if you don't have the booklet. what can you do? Just you could read whatever lyrics you can. So we had to type up the lyrics from the booklet, but Chad's gonna just read like every song has like a bunch of notes and stuff. So Chad's gonna read those before him. So should I just read this now or okay? So this was actually like kind of funny. It was an overall statement from the band. And I thought it was just funny, like in our like times, you know, because like everybody knows metal is about the extremes. It's about saying the most craziest crap. It's about being brutal as fudge. You know, it's just like we all know that that's what metal's about. But they still felt like they had to say this. And I just think that's pretty funny. So here's what they say on the album. They say, "We mention a lot of things. We don't condone anything. This is just the world today as it appears to us. We included some notes and some of the lyrics in this booklet because we felt like it. The notes aren't exhaustive, and there's plenty we haven't printed. If you don't want to pay attention to that stuff, don't. We're not bothered, but apparently there are some people out there who do pay attention, and so for once we wanted to give them something to go on. The album is as spontaneous, frenetic, splenetic, savage, and obsessed with foulness as it needs to be to satisfy us, and hopefully you. A musical bath in sulfuric acid awaits, but there's also a bit more clarity of vision and approach, which we find makes it actually feel even more memorably violent. So in several different senses all at once, good luck." So, anyways, I think that's probably...
Good luck, people.
good luck. Fellas in mediocrity. Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny.
Cool.
And this is the censored, like I don't know, I'm not about censorship, but I mean that, yeah, the cover is kind of, I know it's not for everybody. It doesn't bother me, but I guess if you want to see it, look it up, but we're going to try not to show it on the channel just because, you know.
We got like family members and stuff.
Yeah.
And people who are like subscribers and stuff who I think like were like...
They might not like to see it, and
yo.
that's fine, and we want to respect that, so.
But,
Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm going to just check out this Anaal Nathrakh. You're like, you know, they're like, I wonder what I'm into today, you know? So this is actually going to be pretty fun.
All right, so are we doing the little note before the song or after the... Before?
You guys want to do it
Let's
before?
do it before.
Before? Okay.
So we kind of know what we're getting into.
Yeah. All right, first song, Endarkenment, and here are the notes. There has been and continues to be increasingly widespread rejection of the Enlightenment style values such as rationalism, skepticism, the rejection of faith in favor of judgments dependent on the empirically verifiable phenomena, and so on. There are local versions in many places, but in our native UK, this was summed up by the politician Sinister Gnome Michael Gove's famous claim that we've had enough of experts, thus we enter the age of Endarkenment.
Age of Endarkenment. Here goes. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Why ask questions now? We all...
if I just missed it, you know. Yeah, getting around there. I'm curious if the one on Middle Archives actually has it. Yeah, maybe we will rely on this, and then rely on that when we don't have this. Or somewhere around here, maybe. Wow.
Good, clean fun for the whole family.
Well,
yeah, I just kind of want
Chad
to
goes first, but yeah, let's just it up to the top.
Yeah, because I'm curious what
what it said
march
there.
along into nauseating neglect, like all good swine. We deserve our feed. Are we not yet oblivious to your words? By the end, we'll beg. Why ask questions now? We know all we need to know. Nothing. If you think I'm wrong, the answers I have are all the answers I need.
Yeah. So here's the problem. I typed up the lyrics like from the booklet, but the lyrics in the booklet don't even have all the lyrics. So
well, even in the introduction you just read, wasn't he like, we put some lyrics, whatever, people are paying attention, blah, blah, blah. So it's, I guess like they got us.
Yeah,
they got us.
They got us, yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna like jump between Middle Archives, and then if there is nothing in the song, we'll try to do our best with what we typed up. Because we looked up dark lyrics too, and there wasn't any lyrics there, so yeah.
And these guys are from England or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, UK. And I think they're a two-man band. Vitriol does like the vocal stuff. That dude has a crazy voice because he does change it up a lot.
Oh, dang, that's all him? There's no other vocalists?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Dang.
No, I think it's all him. And then Mick Harris, I think he's the guy that, does all the instruments and whatnot. But I think they do like program the drums, though. I think
it's a drum machine then?
I think so,
okay.
yeah.
Oh.
I'm not an expert, this is just
it's just kinda...
all these people watching this are just like, these guys don't even know. But, it's like, it's whatevs, So, yeah, Chad, I guess you're the one that begins with the ratings and stuff.
I don't know. I guess, man. I'm going to go with the 10. I might be just like being really freaking nice to him, but
take one small comfort.
Yeah, I'll take some small. But dude, that chorus is just, it's so just awesome and epic. I love it's just such a good beginner, dude. It's so just heavy and fast. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm probably just saying a bunch of words right now. Yeah, dude. It's a great opener. I think like that was the first song. What was the first song you showed me?
Probably Feeding the Death Machine.
Yeah,
I was all about that one.
Yeah. But then like just throwing this on and like that being the introduction, I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna be in for some good stuff. Like a 10 for me for sure.
Cool. Yeah, I'm giving it a 9.5. It's close to a 10. It is a fantastic opener. I think I'm like being a little bit like, because sometimes like when I listen to this album, like I enjoy the song, but it doesn't, I don't know. I wish like maybe there was like something a little bit more to it. Like, like there's that one part when they end and then it just kind of like abruptly jumps back into the take one small comfort and goes back into heavy. Like it seems like I wish that there was maybe like more dynamics to the song, I guess, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So that's probably like something that maybe I'll say a lot on this, because these guys' whole point is freaking balls to the wall, go crazy heavy, like fast, intense, like all the time, you know? So, but I still like them. I still think they're really awesome. But with that being said, I think that's the only reason why I get lost a 0.5 for me, you know? Right. What do you think, Kevin?
Oh man, it's hard because there's little sections and little things where I'm like, man, if I was more familiar with this, I probably would give it like a 9.5. But then because I'm just not all that familiar, I guess maybe I'll give it an 8.5 because I feel like it is a solid opener, but I feel like it's got room to grow for me for sure. But I can't like.
You don't want to give it something super good.
Yeah, I can't give something a masterpiece when I don't know what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Unless it blew you away and you're just like, holy crap!
Like so there's elements in here that I'm like, okay, I like what they're going for and whatnot. You know. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just kind of curious how the rest of the album goes and whatnot. Like I said, I've heard this album maybe once or twice, but just from you playing it around me, not really me delving into it myself. So I feel like I'm just don't really know what I'm. I don't know. Like my ratings might be a little bit off from like a realistic kind of, you know what I mean? But I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Yeah, you just do your best. You just do your best. You know,
what can I do? I can just do my best. So
I do my best. You do your best.
I half butt it most of the time.
Chad does his best.
Yeah. So
yeah. Should we continue with track 2 or? Take one small comfort. One thing I forgot to mention though, like, so they didn't, their first couple albums, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 albums didn't do like any singing, and then they introduced the singing aspect. I like the singing aspect. I know some people probably are like, this is stupid, like pop metal, you know, kind of whatever stuff, you know, but I like it. Like, I think
vocals, I used to be kind of douchey like that.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of like Strap Young Lad or something. Like Devin Townsend will switch from like heavy to like singing style, and I like that sort of semi-operatic vibe that they go for on this, so I think it's cool.
Alright, anyways. Thus always to tyrants. And notes. Sic semper tyrannis, thus always to tyrants, is apparently what John Wilkes Booth said when he shot Abraham Lincoln. It is also said to have been the slogan on the t-shirt worn by Timothy McVeigh on the day of his arrest. Most people would agree that Booth's assassination of Lincoln was misguided, to say the very least, yet many people would also agree on some level that tyrants should be dealt with harshly. Similarly, man, I can't say that word. Virtually no one sane would defend McVeigh's most infamous actions, yet many would agree that people have a point when they observe, as he did, that the brutal cost of many international actions is repugnantly high. We're not endorsing anything here. Sorry, hold on. These are just descriptive facts. A different, more modern response to tyrants was suggested a few years ago by the coining of the term centaurum. Mockery, accordingly, when Acerbic?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Acerbic comedian Frankie Boyle recently asked on social media for a word which could be used to describe Brazil's change the question slightly and make Bolsonaro a word for change the question, or geez, you guys, I need reading glasses so bad. Bolsonaro, a word for something which would repel and thus mock o presidente. The example offered was as if we finished our gagging session, he wiped the Bolsonaro from my chin. All right.
Guess it's Brazil politics.
I'm not sure who those people were.
I feel like I've heard the name Timothy McVeigh, but I don't know.
Yeah, he did the bombing.
Yeah.
He like put a bunch of manure in a truck and ripped it up.
Killed like a couple hundred people or something.
Really?
Yeah. It was like 1995.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this U.S. or was it?
U.S.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh.
It was like in like like middle America, like Nebraska or Kansas or something like that. Like, you know. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
So just, yeah, I guess people that weren't happy with their government and decided to take some idiotic action and kill
but
some
it's
people.
But it's not the Unabomber guy. Like that's a different
No,
guy.
that's a
Oh,
different
okay.
guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Lots
It's
of crazy
hard-
people with bombs.
It's hard to it's hard to
keep
keep track. You know,
Yeah.
like, and sometimes you get it mixed up and whatever. Anyways.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, you guys ready for Thus Always Two Tyrants?
Yeah.
Here it goes. That one, I don't think had the lyrics. Yeah, it's the one you are about.
So that's why I said.
Yeah, they're just coming down there. I love how his voice is just such amazing. It's really fun. Yeah. Yeah, gotta get the big movie, you know?
Like,
He's losing it. Wild.
yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's my turn. Yeah, I don't know. I like that one a lot. Like maybe on par with track one. That one's like a little bit more simple, straightforward. But like when he's just like freaking shrieking
Yeah,
and
the
like his
vocals
voice is like
brings in a
about
little
to,
pig squeal.
yeah, like it's just really cool.
It doesn't
you know?
overstay its welcome. It feels like it's. Oh, sorry, this is yours.
No, I agree. Yeah, like yeah, it's just I don't know. And then like the whole like stop starting thing like gives it kind of I don't know. It's just it's just kind of cool, you know. I don't know what to give it though. I feel like in some ways I kind of like it more than one, even though one is like way more melodic and one is like normally I dig things more melodic. But this one, I kind of feel like maybe I like more. I'll just do a 9.5, safe. You know, safe 9.5 again.
Yeah.
What do you say, Kevin?
Oh man, I didn't care for that one as much as track one. But it is definitely just I guess would you call that more grindcore because it's just straight,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
constant
blast
blast beats,
yeah.
you know, just. And I felt like the chorus wasn't as cool as track one, you know, maybe because it was less melodic or something.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6.5. It definitely had the aggression angle and whatnot, but musically, I just didn't care for it musically and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely a pump up song, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, I feel like it's gonna be difficult me rating this because I just don't know this album real well.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But
What say you, Chad?
I'm kind of having like the same trouble you are, because I'm like, dude, I guess I like this one and one for different reasons. So I think I'm gonna go with the 9.5 as well. And dude, like, because of this song, I'd be at work, like, just stalking stuff, and I'd just be like, and just people probably like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
And then they'd be like, "Oh, he's listening to the Anaal Nathrakh." And then like, "Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's exactly what happened.
And so, do you like this? I guess like it does sound like when he says "sic semper tyrannis," you know, it does. It does sound like. It does remind me of like the black metal sort of vocal style or something, you know, and like I could totally see something like that being done on like, I don't know, like late 90s, early 2000s black metal stuff or something. You know what I mean? Do you all agree, or am I like I could totally see that vocal, like Shagrath sounding like that or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think that he does sound like a black metal vocalist.
Yeah.
I do like it though, because I do like that. I don't know. I really like the vocalist for this band. Like,
Yeah.
I like that it changes up more, and I like the just different stuff. It doesn't get boring to me. It stays fresh. Like,
He changed it up quite a bit.
yeah.
You know?
Like, even with Pig Skulls, dude, I'm a firm believer that, like, I can't stand it when that's all it is.
Yeah.
But, like, when it's put at the right place, I'm just like, oh, dude, that's freaking sick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. Should we do the third track?
yeah. Let's cover that up. This is like... All right, this is The Age of Starlight Ends. Tufton Street, Thiel, Cadwalder, I don't know. Prorogation, Spine Press, Attacks on Judicial Independence, Children in 21st Century, Concentration Camps, Plantier, Contempt of Parliament, Total Corruption. The list is endless. If this stuff seems too UK-US focused, we all know there are equivalents everywhere. All these things are just an internet search away, yet the folk are so naive that they still think they are in charge. How quaint.
How quaint.
All right.
All right, The Age of Starlight ends, and it begins.
Yes.
Those lyrics are like were different for me too.
Yeah, a lot different. I was like, wow.
Where were your guys? Like, you know, like where were?
Well, I thought it was 1,000 cuts. That's what I thought. So you're actually right, but just different.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah. You're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. That's the thing. Some of these lyrics are just not in there, you know.
It sounds like that, doesn't it?
Because it is. And I thought that was like mice, but I guess it's mice. That is kind of yeah. Little transition. has this like sense of immediacy. I think this is your turn to begin, bro.
Yeah.
It's something, isn't it?
It's something.
It sure is.
I'll be honest. I was really surprised with that one because I thought that it was going to be. I thought I would like it the least, you know. And then when it was like going in with the bridge and then the chorus and stuff, that song sounded the most like sad and depressing.
Yeah,
you know,
very somber.
And
It's just
very
kinda
somber.
very,
And I was like. That's what. Yeah, so I'll give that one a 9. I think I did like that one the most so far.
Yeah.
Like that was really enjoyable. You know.
Yeah.
It just really surprised me. You know. I don't have much more to add to that, but yeah, I just like the somber kind of message and the feeling in that song. You know.
Yeah.
It's just.
Music really fits the lyrics.
Yeah. I thought they did a pretty
agree.
good job in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah.
10.
There it is.
Dude, yeah, just the bridge, then with the chorus, and like, I love all the other like sound effects and stuff going on, and just like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry I can't like put them out there and say what they are, but I just freaking like it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to you for that.
Yeah, I give it a 10 as well. While we were listening, me and Kevin were like, yeah, that bridge sounds like there's a sense of immediacy. Like, this is like tragic and it's important or something, you know, and I really like that. I think that's really cool. I give it a 10. Awesome song. The chorus is great. I think the guitars in the background, kind of the melodies and stuff, kind of give it that sort of feeling to it, you know, because a lot of music, if you don't have like a melodic guitar lead or some kind of melody, I feel like music that's not melodic has less of an impact on me emotionally, you know, whereas I feel like music that's more melodic has more of a way to like, you know, hit me in certain ways.
More
you
of
know?
a pull.
Yeah. Well, move on to track 4. What's this one called, Chad?
Chad, don't answer. He's trying to trick you. He's trying to trick you. Don't listen to him.
All right, we're on libidinous. In parentheses, a pig with cocks in its eyes.
Oh.
What do you know?
You see what they're trying to say?
Like
is
chickens.
And here are the notes. All right. There is a view that intense reactions to many things are actually just sex gone wrong. The repressed sexual urge coming out in other forms, often fetishized, hence reactionary news media as pornography. How fucking erotic.
Oh,
Oh,
well, that's
actually,
debatable.
yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, here's libidinous, a pig with cocks in its eyes. This one's actually pretty good too.
Yeah.
Bring it out, boys. Is that a breakdown? I feel like it is.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah, it's not
That's
that
just where
one.
I'm at now with it.
Yeah. We should do a video dedicated only to that.
Yeah.
Very driving. Very King Diamond, This album really sucks you in. I love this part when it transitions. Tell me how
Haha, you say?
I think it's your turn, Chad, to start on this one.
10.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool, like, reading the notes and the lyrics, because at first I thought he was just, like, talking about sex and instinct. I was like, oh, okay. But it's just talking about just how fudged up, like, the world is, and show me my fellow man, show me waste, show me this, show me that. Like,
Yeah.
a pig with cocks in its eyes masturbating to the end of the world. All the notes help with that, just media showing just all the terrible things, and yeah, like...
Yeah. Yeah,
I do feel like the music fits it, and it's messed up, but at the same time it's just fun, dude. Like, yeah.
I feel like that song for me, that one and track 3, and maybe like, I don't know, those two are like some of the sadder songs on the album for me, you know? And I feel like, you know, people only care about sex when the world is falling apart. That's how I interpret the song, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of a sad sort of like idea, you know? I think it's an awesome song. I give it a 10. The vocals are awesome. Even the King Diamond-y, you know, high voice shrieks. Like, I think it's pretty cool. Dude, yeah, I think that's awesome. And I like that ending part whenever they just start busting out and the guitars are all playing and stuff. I'm like, that gives it sort of this final feeling like, it's all over now, boys, you know? Like, it just gives it that sort of, like, emotional end to this song, and I think that's cool. And I like the riffing part and the talking part. I think it's really driving and cool.
I think I liked it similar to track 1. Maybe I like track 1 a little more. I'm not sure, so I'll give it an 8.5. I felt like that, again, that's one thing I do like about metal music is, like, there's certain topics and things that people don't talk about and whatnot in other genres
in pop
of music.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, like, love, romance, sex, whatever, all that stuff, like, I like music that puts it in like a good vibe and stuff, but then I also want to hear the music that's like, here's how it can go wrong and whatnot, you know? Yeah. And so I'm glad that music exists, because to me, like, I listen to music and stuff and I feel like it's like modern day storytelling, where it's kind of like we need stories and whatnot to warn us of behaviors or whatever.
Cautionary tales.
Cautionary, yeah, you know, like back with, you know, Shakespeare and all the Greek tales and stuff, they would have like comedies and stuff that would end in like dark ways and stuff. And it would just be like, oh yeah, to try and steer society into being careful or whatever, you know? So I feel like, I feel like, you know, the movies you watch, the music you listen to, like all these things can contribute to sort of like your own like messaging and whatnot in society and stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's just kind of, I feel like maybe these guys might be a little more like a little dramatic and stuff with it and everything, but at the same time,
like gives it its flair.
Right. Yeah. Well, at the same time, it's like, okay, there's a lot of darkness in this world and whatnot, you know. Yeah, but when you listen to this album, it's like the world is F. You know, it's like, you know what I mean. And I'm not a true pessimistic kind of person that's like everything is gone, everything, you know,
it's fudged.
But at the same time, like I see the evidences of things going wrong and whatnot, and I'm like, yeah, you got to give it to the pessimists. They're right about some things. You know what I mean?
Some things,
but
some things.
Right. But then it's also like, yeah, but there's also like okay, then watch your video of like videos to restore your faith in humanity. You know, watch some cat videos. But then some people view that as like, oh, you're blindly like putting your head in the sand and stuff. And it's like, so I don't know. I feel like, you know, it's good to know about the good and the bad in the world. You know, that's kind of I like maybe on the centrist. Yeah. Positive, negative person. I just want to balance the positive and negative. You know?
I agree, because I feel like people that only focus on negative things, they have their head in the sand in a different way. They refuse to see what's good about a situation or what's good in life or whatever, you know?
White
so I think
pill,
it can go kind of, it can kind of go both ways. Like, I'm definitely not about just saying, oh, everything's dandy, but I'm also not about just saying everything's freaking terrible.
Just because it's like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, because it's just kind of like, we know what happens with both of those personality types. We know that those that are pessimistic usually just like, they won't solve problems, they're like depressed, they're discouraged or whatever, you know, and they won't even see good even when there really is something good about. And then the people that won't see evil are usually the ones that get taken advantage of. They're ones that like are like more like, you know, they're not as wise in some ways, and I feel like both of them are like not good to just be stuck in. It's good to like be wise or whatever, but it's also good to be able to see the whole spectrum of things, you know.
And having a respect to like both extremes and like just being aware of stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Being aware that there are good things in this world and there are bad things in this world.
But I will say, like with music, I like the depiction of the extreme goodness, you know. But I also like the depiction of extreme badness or whatever.
Yeah,
you know? I agree. Because like normal human beings, if someone's too extreme one way or another, it's usually like you're obtuse. You know, you're obtuse in your personality or your character or your behavior. You know, but like with music and stuff, it's like, I mean, come on, man. In the 60s, some of those love songs and stuff, it's pretty obtuse positive. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but dude, it's just a depiction. You know, they're not saying that this is, you know, real or whatever. It's just, you take whatever you get from the message and, you know, roll with it.
And the guy that's just like, I'll be on my knees for you, girl. He's the guy that's just like, I ain't dating her. You know, it's just like, you know, it's just a song.
Yeah.
You know? And I guess in some ways it's like, a lot of this is just songs. You know?
Yeah.
Just art, if you will.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though. I am enjoying the album so far though, because it's nice to get the lyrics. It's nice to see, you know, because the album has a progression and stuff, you know. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, why did they do this one? And then then they're going in this. And, you know, we weren't heavy enough.
Yeah. Do you feel like so far, like I know you've heard it like before and stuff, but do you feel like it's better or right about kind of where you thought it would be, or do you feel like it's like
maybe a little better than I thought it would be? I actually thought I'd be ranking it lower.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking you were too, so it's actually pretty good scores from you.
And it's an album that, you know, I'll have to listen to on my own, because music is a personal journey. Like
you have to digest it at your own pace.
Exactly. No one can be like, oh, here, let me continue to get you into this album or whatever and play it to you know, like you really have to like own it yourself and like listen to it yourself. Make a choice to. So
because dude, there's so many people I tried pushing on. I don't even push anything anymore because I just always found it so futile. I was just like, but this is so cool, check it out, and they don't want to, and that's fine. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. You know.
Yeah.
I guess track 5, Beyond Words.
Beyond Words. Some things may be captured in words, but but can only be expressed in a Whoa, jeez. These guys use some big words. All right. Some things
words,
may be
yeah.
captured in words, but can only be expressed in a Dionysian ecstasy of loathing. Sharing those words would detract from the expression. Not sure if I got that right.
Dionysian?
Dionysian.
What is that? Greek or
Roman,
Roman?
something.
Like, yeah,
Oh, okay.
the
Old school.
Dionysus. Or, I forget the story, but something.
Okay.
Odysseus. You know.
Oh, yeah, Odysseus, Dionysus, Zeus, and
Yeah. So we know what they're talking about.
no, dude, like I do like some like Greek mythology stuff, but I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is either.
Yeah.
So
Dionysus, yeah, I'd have to look it up because if we knew the story of the goddess or god or whatever, then we'd be like, oh, so that's what they're saying.
right.
You
They're the
know?
one in that labyrinth, and they were running around. You know, like yeah. This one doesn't have any lyrics, so we're just gonna listen to this one because it's beyond words. You know, it's like him just shrieking and stuff. Like it really is beyond words.
but it's okay to do it like we'll rate it. So
Oh, we're still rating it, yeah, because it's still a song.
It's not like
it's not like an interlude.
or-
No, it's still definitely a song. But yeah, it's just a lot of just shrieking and stuff. But I don't even know if there really even is. I don't know if it's a Sigur Rós situation where he's just making up words, you know, to fit the music, or if there really is words. But they haven't provided us with any. So here we go.
These words right here. Shit for place.
He's just going wild.
Yeah.
You got that one.
That was really hard to miss.
So I think I go. Do I go first on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the weakest songs. I really feel like it would have benefited being intelligible, like knowing what he's saying or having like some melody in the vocals. I feel like this song is the most like the old school Anaal Nathrakh stuff, you know, because the old school stuff, it feels a little bit more chaotic and just heavy and balls to the wall with like less melody and stuff, or at least from what I've listened to. But you know, it's just kind of like, I don't know, over time it kind of just feels like it goes on for a little bit too long with what it's doing, you know, even though it's only like a 3-minute whatever song.
But it could have been 2.
It could have been 2. Yeah, but I don't think it's like a bad song. I still think it's a good song, and some of the riff stuff is pretty cool. So I think I might give it like a 6. So
Yeah, I'll give it a 5.5. It was definitely my least favorite so far. Just kind of average to me, you know. Not really much to go on, you know. That's about it. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm giving it an 8. You guys, like I did like the only words you can make out were like swear words, and they just, I don't know, like I feel like it just kind of added towards the intensity, and I enjoyed it.
yeah,
There's even like just, I don't know, again, like there were certain parts that kind of just even made me feel bummed out, and like he wasn't even singing about anything, so just the music kind of making me feel that way. And at least there's a grindcore band that like had a dog barking for vocals, so it was something like that.
yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, I think an 8. But
One thing that's interesting is their name, I guess, means serpent's breath. It's like from like
Anaal Nathrakh, okay.
it's like from
That's
a
cool
like
to
an
know.
80s movie or something.
Oh wow, I thought it was.
Do you think?
All right.
So when you think like, I think it's from like something that a wizard says or something in like a movie. or
Dungeons
something.
and Dragons. Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's like, I've never seen the movie. This is just me reading online or whatever. So yeah, it just means serpent's breath. So that's kind of cool because it's like, oh, that kind of fits, you know, what they're going for. You guys ready to move on? And I guess we got to read the one for this one. This one's my favorite. I like this one a lot.
Okay, Feeding the Death Machine. Written on the day of the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, after hearing an interview with a prisoner who survived simply because she could play the cello, drawing on Jen Siesley by mentioning incomprehensibly horrific events in an apparently apparently matter-of-fact style and without touching upon the actual horror. This text concentrates on the role of perhaps the most contemptible figure of all, the craven. Self-excusing bureaucrat. There's also a nod to the film Life is Beautiful, printed in full because cutting or excluding the text seemed wrong given the subject. That movie is brutal.
I do like Life is Beautiful. It's a good
That's
movie.
an awesome movie. Yeah. You guys ready for Feeding the Death Machine?
Yeah. Speaking of evils in the world.
I know, for real.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give that one a 9. I think I liked it about similarly to track 3. Yeah, definitely like I like the death metal vibes and stuff going for it. You know, like parts of it just reminded me of like, oh yeah, this feels like, you know, guitar work from like Hypocrisy or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, you know, really
Warpath
going for
or
it.
something.
Yeah, like Warpath or whatever. You know, and so I enjoyed it and whatnot. Yeah, I like that somber feel. You know what I mean? It's I'm just gonna repeat of what we talked about in track 4, but you know, you need music with, you know, a little more despair, sadness, you know, whatever, because like, man, it's relatable. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid song. You know, yeah.
Yeah, a 10. It's right up there with the other ones I give. Like, I never get tired of that song. And dang, man, like, I knew the lyrics were going to be brutal, but yeah, just what it was based on, like, I don't know, anytime you talk about the Holocaust, that's just such a...
Yeah.
Talk about a freaking tragedy. Like,
Yeah.
just some brutal freaking stuff and so many bad things, dude. But, yeah, I wish I kind of had a little more to add, but Ian, take it away.
Yeah, I give it a 10. Yeah, I love that song. I love like how the way the guitar sounds when it does that chorus, like the whole it makes it sound like it's an orchestral thing going on, which makes sense with what we just read, you know, about it.
Cello and all that.
Yeah, and that life is beautiful. The whole like him, you know, trying to help his kid by making it a game. Like we know that that's not like realistic or whatever. Like that's not the point of the movie. It's just kind of like the whole idea of trying to find like goodness or trying to find like hope in hopeless situations, basically, you know. And that's a song that like if I think about the lyrics and whatnot, it's sad. But the guitar riffs and everything is just so freaking awesome that I'm just like, I turn off my brain and I'm just like,
yeah, I know, because like,
feeding the death, you know,
yeah,
I'm like
because
rocking
before
out
reading
and
the
stuff.
lyrics, like anytime I work, I just be like,
Yeah, just like rocking out in my car and stuff, and it's just kind of like, yeah, we love metal and we love like heavy stuff, but whenever you really think about it, then you're kind of just like, man, this is freaking depressing, you know?
Right. I think that's where like, especially people who don't listen to metal music are like confused of like, why are you guys rocking out to like Angel of Death is like the most famous like one where it's like, wait, why would you guys rock out to a song about like the Holocaust kind of thing? And I totally understand the perspective of not understanding why, you know, people are going like this and stuff. You know, like I get it.
It's like an
know,
outsider looking in.
Right. So it's, you know, I get it, but yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Create art, though the world may perish.
Track 7.
This draws on Walter Benjamin's work of the art in the age of mechanical reproduction. Whatever Benjamin's claims and theories elsewhere, we were struck in particular by the last paragraph of this essay, which begins fiat ars perit mundus, make fascist message, but the same words can mean different things depending on the context. When put together with the first verse, the chorus is the kind of message of exceptionalism and empowerment which attracts people to popularism. The second verse changes the context to the point of the view of those who would orchestrate the rise of fascism among the public. And so the same chorus words become contemptuous. In the context of Anaal Nathrakh, on the other hand, the idea of making art while the world perishes has nothing to do with selling fascism, yet still makes perfect sense. It's not far off from being a fucking mission statement. All right.
Track 7, create art.
Though the world may perish.
silly second drive.
Yeah. Especially that stop. Yeah. I always thought you said create art right there, but I guess not.
This is honestly, not just me.
Yeah, sure, I'm kind of curious, yeah. Why the hell is this start on here?
I don't know. Do auto do that. That ain't doing us any favors. Fiat burn, Harriet did this. I guess burning money or something? I don't know. Like fiat burn. Romanian.
All right, I think Chad, you go first on this one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, man.
What'll it be?
I feel like I'm handing out too many 10s. Yeah, dude, I'm going with a 10 also.
No.
Too many times. Do that.
It's just, dude, I love the intensity with like those just like super, I guess, operatic choruses, catchy, just like I don't know. I love that mixture. I'm really feeling it with these guys. Man. I need to explain why I think it's a 10 more, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, I feel like I'm just going to start saying, like, the same stuff, so...
Would you explain it better if it was a 9? Or...
All right, next. On that note, you motherfucker.
I'm messing. I'm totally messing.
No.
I'm giving that one an 8. Yeah, I don't care as much for it except for the chorus. I do like the chorus. I think it's cool, but the rest is like it's still good, but it just doesn't capture me as much as like musically. But I still think it's a great song, so I'm giving it an 8.
I'll give it a 7.5. I felt like musically that felt to me like a Septic Flesh song or something to me. That whole you know, I was just waiting for the guy to be like, Anubis or you know, like something, you know, I don't know. But I mean, I enjoyed the song, but I feel like that song has a little bit of a ceiling of like what I can get out of it. I feel like I can't get more than a certain amount of enjoyment from the song. Like I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I don't see myself ever like loving that song. You know, it felt maybe a little safe, a little standard, a little something. You know, so yeah, I think 7.5 probably where all.
And instead of the whatever language he was speaking, if he would have said create art, I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I gotta pee real quick. Do you mind doing the notes real fast, Kevin? Or do you guys just want to wait till I get back?
We could.
Yeah, we could wait till you get back because you're a part of this too.
Yeah.
So
Kevin,
Ian.
so Kevin, see any UFOs lately?
No, yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of think this album, like, I'm enjoying it and everything. It's doing a good job, like, immersing me into it,
Yeah.
because I've already listened to a lot of metal and stuff. Like, I can listen to this stuff and not get what's the right word? Like, for some people that don't listen to metal, this is way too much. Too much sounds, too much happening.
Yeah.
Like after the first
too much
song,
drums.
they would be like it's I guess like too much like sensory overload or something like that. But for me, I'm just
Too
kinda,
much stimuli.
Yeah, and so like I can like I said, I'm like the prog metal, power metal guy and stuff. When it comes to like extreme music and stuff, like it really depends because I can really enjoy some of it and stuff, but like it's not like my bread and butter where I'm just like, oh man, into like 20 to 30 to 50 bands all I think I'm the kind of listener that's like, I want to find like the ones that are like gems to me and stuff, and then like just
put it in whenever
those.
you're feeling it.
Yeah, because I don't see myself like getting into these guys and like liking like all of their albums and stuff, but I I'm a little particular where I'll probably be like, oh, this album does it for me, or this album from different bands and stuff. But I'm enjoying it so far. I do wonder if this album might be a little like heavy, like the first half might be better than the second half, but we'll see what the next 3 songs bring. It'll be kind of interesting how it plays out. So
Singularity, decadence, human society. Decadence. Human society is pointless, therefore consumes itself in a never-ending cycle of consumption and discarding. On the other hand, the singularity is, or at least can roughly be read as, the anticipated point at which artificial intelligence will overtake human intelligence, leading to the end of society as we know it, and the beginning of something else which we cannot now foresee. This itself can be seen as a form of decadence, since it represents a culture producing an event which consumes that culture. A parallel is drawn to the growing sense that we live in an essentially feudal society. What happens to the world is ever more determined by the desires and whims of a small number of specific powerful individuals. The mention of clowns and circuses is partly a play on Ray Kurzweil's, not sure if I said that right, C. Kurtwell, but it is also a reference to the fact that all the bells, whistles, showmanship, noise, and flashing of lights in the world cannot cover up the fact that manifests the most basic thing we have, human emotion. Even if it did, we couldn't know that it had, because we don't even understand what human consciousness is. So a species which does not know what itself even is at the most fundamental level, which has created a society which functions in ways it cannot control, is making itself obsolete via the will of a tiny number of specific powerful individuals. Wonderful, what could go wrong?
Those are machines.
Terminator, man. I told you they're coming for us.
You guys ready for Singularity?
Yeah.
yeah.
Here we go. Oh, I see what they did there. You see, but little noises and stuff. I was just like making it a bigger deal than it was.
Take it over. I feel like I heard At the Whim of a Laundry Spell.
Oh my god, that doesn't make sense.
You know, in our day and age, what does?
Yeah, true. Maybe that's what he's going for.
So it's your turn then, huh?
Oh, is my turn?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cause
because I went
Chad
last.
with
And I'm gonna change the other one to a 9, dude. I don't think it's.
Oh,
a 20.
number 7?
Yeah, I don't think it's quite a 10.
Yeah, I like that one. I think I'm going to give it 8.5. I really like the chorus a lot. I think it's really cool. I like the somber, sort of repetitive guitar line in that chorus or whatever. And I love how he just goes for it. He's just like, get got, you know?
Yeah,
He's just
dude,
like,
fudging
I'm
get
just
got,
going to freaking going for it, so just get got, you know? So, anyways, I think that's pretty cool. However, you know, some of the riffing and stuff during like talking part, like the verse section and stuff, just doesn't capture me as much. So I'm going to 8.5.
I'll go an 8. I think I like track 1 and track 4 maybe more than this one. But
Yeah.
this song was looking like a 7. But as it went on and as I understood a little bit better what they're going for, I was like, I'm kind of digging it. I like that it paused and then you had that kind of quiet. You know, I was like, you know, like I was like when it happened, I was like, well, of course, you know, like that makes sense. You know, why not? You know, and yeah, I like the way he's just, you know, a new feudal age and just, you know, repeating it. Sometimes it's just. I like when death metal and let's just say guttural vocals and stuff, when they really like hammer a point home or something, you know, like it can definitely help the song out and stuff when certain things are you know, and so I felt like the dun-dun-dun thing was a little bit repetitive and stuff, you know, but yeah, I mean, still a solid song.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
What about you, Chad?
I'm going with a 9 as well on that one. I feel like I wouldn't want probably like a whole album of that, but just having the last song and this one like that, I feel like it fits pretty good and I enjoyed it. So I don't really have anything else to add. So you guys ready to move on?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Man, these are some long notes.
Yeah, look at that crowd, dude. There is a common idea that punishment for committing a crime is deserved. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, yet justice understood in this way, wrote philosopher Richard Gardner recently. Sounds like a sadistic accountant's revenge fantasy. In 2015, the president of Malaysia, who is, as bizarre as it may sound, a fan of Napalm Death, received a personal open letter appeal from the band's frontman Barney to show mercy in the case of a British woman who had been caught smuggling drugs, reportedly against her will, and who faced execution. When he heard about this and looked it up, the first information we found was on the website of a reactionary newspaper, well known in the UK, contrasting with Barney's humanistic appeal. We scrolled down and read some of the user comments. Many people say never read the comments, but that would miss out on so much that is quintessentially human. People can be so endearing. Sometimes you just want to vomit blood on them. The comments were every bit compassionate as you'd expect. So we made an audio collage of the readings of them and put them in the background of the song. It's layered up to the point of being incomprehensible, but those of you who read this will know what you're hearing. Essentially, it's a condensed, pathetic form of the 2 minutes of hate. As far as we know now in early 2020, the woman in question remains on death row. Bummer.
Huh.
Yeah. All right.
Here is Punish Them. I feel like with the how serious a lot of these songs are about, I feel like I can't be like, let's do Punish Them, guys.
Punish them. Yeah, it's just like, and like real world events. And
I know,
like,
it's just like, geez, you know, it's just like, it's bumming me out, you know. It's cool. But I am glad we're reading those because it does help us to understand what they're going for in the song.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Here's Punish Them. it just has a certain swing to it. Maybe it's still supposed to work. I don't know. I don't know if they're just tricking me or if it is something different, you know?
I'll have to watch it together with it.
This part I really like. Every time they go into this.
It might be like a 6-8, 5. Maybe 1-3-4.
Because I mean, this is like 4/4, but like when you're doing that one little thing, I think it like this. You know?
I think it's something like that, though. It sounds like a. It sounds like, yeah, a 6-8 kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Who knows?
You heard it here first.
Yeah. And that's one of those ones that you'd have to like listen to, you know, again and again and then count it while you're going and yeah. Whose turn is to start on this one?
I think is it
I
mine?
think it's
Or
mine.
yours?
Yeah, I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
Kevin's
it's me.
turn.
I'll give that one a 7. Out of the song with lyrics, I felt like it was kind of just there a little bit for me. Maybe a 6.5. At least like 2 was. Maybe track 2 I'll give a 7, and maybe I'll give this one a 6.5 because at least 2 had a little bit more of like an identity, knew what it was going for and stuff. This one was just a bit kind of there for me. I don't know. It just didn't quite hook me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm going with a 7 on that one. Probably like my least favorite. Reading the notes, it I guess I kind of see what they were going for, but I don't know. There was certain guitar parts I really liked, so I think that's why I'm kind of going with a 7 on that. Oh wow.
What?
So Ian liked this one.
Yeah, Ian convinced me. Should I?
Well-
I might need to bump this up. Convince me.
Yeah.
Well, here it is,
Because
fellas.
we're still in the discussion phase.
Yeah.
You know?
I really like that one. Sure, it has this kind of rhythmic, like swinging kind of vibe to it or whatever. Like, I think that's like kind of cool that it goes to that. But then every time they go into the chorus and it does that whole that whole part is so like sad sounding to me, and I just think it's freaking awesome. And I just headbang every time and I also headbang to that part because it's like in 4/4 time. It's easy. It's rocking out. I don't need to freaking be like, oh.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh, wait, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 7/4. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to, like worry about it. I just rock out and it's just kind of like I think it's a really cool kind of chorus. never mind that you can't read the lyrics. Never mind that you don't know what he's saying.
Well,
It's just
well, and I wonder if we had the lyrics, maybe I would have understood a little bit more of the structure and everything, what they're going for. But
if they put like all the comments that they were reading off of, that'd be kind of cool to know what they were reading.
Yeah, instead of just
saying, here's a bunch of comments that were like
unintelligible and whatever.
Yeah, but anyways, I think it's a cool song. So 8.5.
It's like you guys already kind of did the unintelligible stuff on some other ones.
Chad, are you gonna keep with the 7? I'll leave mine at 6.5, but it does have room to grow. I understand what you're saying. I didn't catch all that with the melodic thing that you're going for. I didn't catch that. So,
Yeah. Should we play it just real quick just to point it out?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want.
I think that was one of the parts that was like, I really did like, but...
Might have to unlock the thing. Like,
open
it up,
Yep, that's what it was.
Anyways. Got all the answers. I'm pretty sure it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Should we try to like play this? I mean, this is why people watch for 2 hours.
Right.
So that we can figure this crap out.
Figure it out and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So. What timing is that?
Like I said, it sounds like
7.5.
It sounds like it sounds like there's a 6/8, a 6/8, and then like it stays within the same sort of feel as 6/8, but they cut out 2 notes. So I would just call it like a 4/8 or something. That's what I would call it, because you've got 5/8, you can have 3/8, you can it stays within the same feel, so it wouldn't go to a 4/4 or anything like that, because that would change the feel of the swing.
Yeah.
So I really think it's that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? They just cut out the last.
So we do the melodic bit.
Sure.
So like this is like the talking bit. So this is all before the chorus.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I'll put mine at 7. We'll put mine as a 7. I probably liked it similar to track 2.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no 8.5 or anything for me. But you know, I mean, there's some cool stuff going for it and stuff. But you know,
it was a kind of cool song. You know. Yeah. Should we read the last track and move on?
Yep.
But I do like I mean, you know, we're not a channel where we're like freaking editing anything. We're not like I love that we have the freedom to just do what we want, you know.
Don't have to worry about this or worry about
that.
Yeah,
and some people may not like it, and that's okay. They don't have to. But
we're just hanging out, having fun, man.
Just having fun.
If you want to have fun with us, freaking
and some people would appreciate that. Some people would like be like, oh, I want you guys to like try to break something down or try to talk about it, and on the spot too. We're not prepared or anything. We just like
you guys
talking
didn't get
about
take
it.
Notes and listen to it 5 times.
This is not like one of those channels where we're like regurgitating all of the facts of something and we're like super prepared to like blow you away with our knowledge. This is like, I don't know.
It's what you see is what you get.
Yeah, it's like we're just listening to music and then whatever kind of conversation sparks from it, that's what we're gonna go for.
Yeah, for us, like none of us like went to school for music theory or any of that stuff, you know, like Ian and I, we have done some
streets.
We have done some like music stuff, you know, back in like middle school, high school, you know, little stuff here and there. But a lot of our knowledge just came from like learning stuff, listening to stuff, figuring it out, whatever, you know. And so and so there's some things that like someone who's like studied it, stuff, they'd be like, well, actually it's this, and but what we get out of it is like how the music like makes us feel, and then like music is, if you pick it to its bone, it's made up of a bunch of math. All of music is a bunch of math, you know, and why you get a certain feeling is because of this time signature and because of these notes placed in this order and stuff. It's all math. So anyone who says that it's not math, well, you can have your opinion. all I'm saying is like,
Well, you could be wrong.
but it's just kind of like someone had to create this, and in order to recreate it and everything, people had to exchange the music and to put it down in notation and to you know like math is the way that people trade music and play other people's music and figure it out and whatever.
I like music is kind of a combination of math with like English or whatever literature, because you have words and stuff that express ideas.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like you're communicating through math and language, which is kind of cool. You know? It's like, dang.
There is the creative element and the sort of more scientific element in music, and it's together, and so and
That's why it's so
all
cool.
of it's cool. Yeah, all of it's cool. So.
And if you add a little science, to
I like to add a little social studies to my music.
You see, history sabotage.
yeah.
All right. Anyways, okay. Requiem. The text here is taken from the Requiem Mass. In this instance, we were inspired by Variety's setting of the Mass. Given the album's theme of Endarkenment, the track is intended as a mirror of Nietzsche's madman singing a requiem afternem Dio following his realization of the death of God. Since that symbolized the advent of enlightenment, a new requiem, this time for us, seems appropriate as society turns towards endarkenment.
Cool. And the lyrics, I guess, are all like in Latin or whatever. And I think that this is what it says. This is what's written in the booklet. It says, "I quake with fear and I tremble. Day of mourning, day of wrath, of calamity, of misery, the greatest day and most bitter." So that's pretty much what they're saying. But
sounds like Symphony X. Yeah.
Sounds like some Symphony X stuff. Yeah, freaking Paradise Lost type of material.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, all right, you guys ready for Requiem?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Well, let's fast forward this one because. Here's Requiem.
seriously, yeah. So what are you gonna do, man?
Okay, I'm drawing a line in the freaking sand. Do not read the Latin.
Oh, is that Evil Dead or what's that from?
It's
like some horror movie.
yeah, it's don't do this to me, Ian.
Yeah, what's
It's
it from?
I thought it was Evil Dead.
No.
Yeah.
It's Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah. Cabin in the Woods.
No, I'm drawing a line in the freaking sand. Do not read the Latin.
Yes. That's a good movie.
More contemplative than ending.
Yeah. More resolute, finality, soloing, you know. What else can I say?
What else can you say?
This ending reminds me a little bit of Chain on Machine's ending, the Great 99. You know, it ends with that kind of slower doobie riff. Reminds me of that. Yeah.
What else does it remind me of something else too? Oh man, that's gonna bug me. There's another thing.
Gonna cost a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it sounds really close to that Chain Art Machine ending, though. That number 99.
I thought there was another band that does something similar, like. Oh, dude, it's Dream Theater. Scenes from a Memory.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
What is that? Like, right, and then it fades out into, like, you hear kind of a recording.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Then he gets out of his car.
open your eyes, and like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it sounded like that.
What is that song called?
Yeah, the last track. Finally Free. Or
Finally
whatever.
Free, yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, anyways, and now
Who goes first on this one? Oh, I think Chad
Yeah,
does,
I
actually.
do.
Yeah, what did you get that one, Chad?
actually, like I don't remember that song that much, but man, I think that's just a great closer, man. Yeah, guys, there's soloing and there's is the closer. I guess I don't know. My brain might be a little fried. I don't have much else to add. I just think it was a great closer. I like the.
You like the Latin?
The Latin. I mean, I guess it was mostly like probably the last minute or minute and a half. I was just like, oh, dude, that's freaking sick. But maybe not a 10, you guys. Let's go with a 9 on that one. All right.
Well, Chad. Yeah, that one, I give it probably a 6. It doesn't really do that much for me. Like, it's heavy and everything, but it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't, like, I feel like they got this, like, apocalyptic feel down, but at the end of the day, I just feel like, there wasn't much to it, It's
What
like,
about for a closer? Do you think
Unfair.
Like
Unfair.
I think it fits as a closer.
All right,
like,
just a 6 for
that,
it.
like, there's none of the other tracks should have closed. Like, that should have been the closer. But it's just kind of like not much to it, and it's like 5 minutes and something.
All right.
And it's like, it's good, but it doesn't. And I've heard it plenty of times, and I'm never really like enthralled with it. It's just kind of like just heavy, and that's kind of it. Heavy with like an apocalyptic doomy riffing ending that reminds us of Dream Theater Soul Work for some reason. Like but it's still good.
Yeah,
so what do you say, Kevin?
I'll give it a 7. I like the usage of
you didn't like it either.
I was thinking of doing a 7.5, but I like it when bands use Latin and stuff in music and whatnot, because man, like, there's something spooky, something like darkened about the medieval days and like the you know. I mean,
Dark
they called it
Ages,
the
yo.
Dark Ages. I mean, you know, and so
pretty dark.
it's kind of it's kind of cool. Like I like that, you know, he kept repeating, you know, DS era, DS era, DS era, you know, Day of Wrath and everything. I like that repetition. I think the song, I'll give it a 7.5. I think the song is a little bit stronger than just like, you know, it doesn't do it for me kind of thing. You know,
No, I still think it's
I'll give it a
good. It just,
7.5. I
it
like
just
the
doesn't blow
outro.
me like some of the blow me away like some of the
Yeah.
other
Right,
songs
right.
do. You
And
know?
I get that. I just wish that more bands would use.
I'm jeez.
I
I'm
wish-
such a flip flopper.
I wish more bands would use Latin and stuff in cool various ways and whatnot, you know. And I thought they did a pretty solid job with the Latin in this song, you know.
I mean, heck, they
did.
spoke it. You know?
I do feel like the outro part is a little bit like everyone has kind of done it. I mean, we had already named like, you know, like
Yeah.
2 other bands that like did like a similar thing, you know. But like, you know, it's just.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, and I wonder if that whole melody came from some classical composer or something.
Probably.
There's got to be some kind of a, you know, you know, there's got to be, you know, someone from, you know, 1800 somewhere that did something like that. But that's the thing is like there's certain melodies and things that people will wait 77.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, a little distracted. You know, there's little things that people will come up with, and it'll be very much like a similar to something from the classical composers. And that's one thing that I like with metal music is like how steeped it is in classical music, you know. So it's really cool to pick out those little sections and be like, oh, dude, they got that from Gustav Holst, or oh, they got that from Bach or Beethoven or Mozart or whoever. You know, it's kind of cool. So, anyways, yeah, it was a pretty cool song. Pretty good outro.
You guys keep talking. I got to do these scores.
Yeah, so Ian's doing the scores. We'll have you close it out since this is your pick. You know, I'll share my general thoughts on the album. I enjoyed the album. It's an album that like. Yeah, I'll probably listen to it on my own, you know. I don't know when I'll get around to listening to it and immersing into it and stuff, but I thought, you know, like the guys who created this album, I felt like, yeah, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
You know, like with it. So, yeah, it's I enjoyed going through it and I thought it was a pretty good pick. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for me though. Like enjoyed it, but it's definitely the kind of music that's not for everybody, but yeah, it was nice to go through.
Yeah. So I almost have the scores ready. So I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna stall. Ooh, how about them Braves?
Yeah, I think they're doing
did you guys
pretty
see
good
the
this
game?
year.
Did you guys see the match?
Oh, what
Which
game?
one?
Any of them.
Any of them? He was certainly the villain of the match. Alrighty, so I have the final scores now. Yeah, I agree with Kevin with what he was saying. Even though I was only half listening because it's hard to do both things. Yeah, I think it's an awesome album. I think they made a really good piece of work here. You know, and it's like. I know extreme metal is not for everybody, you know, but if you like this kind of stuff, this blend of black, grindcore, death metal, all sort of hodgepodge together, this is a great album, you know. And I know it's these guys have been doing this stuff for like 20 some odd years. So like, you know, the first album was like, the first album was 2001 and they had like EPs and stuff in like 99 and stuff. So they've been around for a while. But I really like this. I love when bands that are older still have it in them to make some cool music, you know? Like, that's pretty cool. So, very commendable. Chad gave it the highest rating. He gave the overall album a 9.1. I gave it the second highest, a score of 8.55. And Kevin gave it the lowest, so he gave it a 7.75. So collectively, our score for this album is 8.46.
Pretty respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense. I mean, I'm the least familiar with it, so.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So, pretty good score. Do we have any final thoughts? I don't really have.
Yeah, I did my final thoughts.
And
So.
Do you want to close it out, Chad?
yeah, I feel like Yeah, I got to hear something that was new. I definitely spun it 15 times. Half a million
It's like
times.
almost there.
Yeah, you know, like
12, 13,
close.
14, a million.
Yeah, so you guys see what I'm saying. But yeah, dude, it was cool hearing something new and just being being excited about it, I guess. So these guys definitely did that for me. I feel like I don't really have much to add. I mean, you guys know, like, I'm all about the extreme metal, death metal, grindcore, thrash, and starting to maybe even get into some black metal. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hope you guys check them out. And we are Forgotten Legends of Sound.
We are.
Forgotten Legends of Sound.